Agent update and training, qualifiers and tie downs, keys to a great closing. That's what we're going to talk about. Agent update and training is going to be about qualifiers and tie downs. What does that mean, Steve? I mean, qualifiers and tie downs. What am I doing? First thing that you have to do is you want to qualify the potential prospect. You want to make sure that, okay, this person does have debt. This person does have a job. This person does have a way to have some money. You want to make sure that they have additional income that is going to be going towards paying off those debts, as the online program will guide them through which debts to pay off first and how much and how to do that. So you need to know how to qualify people, make sure they're the right kind of people to talk to. Tie downs, how to really tie down and close that sale and get people participating so that they can see themselves now on a daily basis if they want to. If they want to get on their program on a daily basis, they can see what they're doing to get out of debt. So this is something that's very important, knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and I think you'll see yourself making a lot more success, okay? So it's very important that you try to do that. Soft closing tie downs. Soft closing tie downs. A soft close is designed to lead the prospect in a certain direction, and in all cases, the soft close objective is to get the prospect to softly, not badger them, not beat them over the head, not make them feel like they're being pushed into something, but you're just going through the presentation. You're calm, but you can be a little excited even though you're calm in your voice inflection. But you want to get the prospect to softly commit now and to tie them down later in the sales process for the closing. So you're just talking to them. You're not making them feel uncomfortable. You're not making them feel like, hey, you got to do this now, or, this is your last opportunity. We don't want to be a company that does that. Tie down and qualifying questions should be used throughout the entire process. From the time that you call that person to get an appointment to the time that you close the deal, you should use these tie downs and qualifying questions throughout the presentation so that the person truly does understand what you're teaching them, what you're showing them. And you're not talking so fast just because you know it doesn't mean that they know it. Maybe you've given it 50 times. It just rolls off the end of your tongue. Well, that's not always the best way to do it. Take your time. Let the people feel comfortable. Make sure they know what you're saying, what you're talking about, and how it works. And then it's going to make it much easier on the coaching, and it's going to make it much easier for them to want to continue to use the program. If they don't continue to use the program, folks, we're not doing them any good. We're not helping them to get out of debt. Initial qualifying questions could be those like, hey, Bill, do you have a mortgage? Yes, I do. Do you have a home? Yeah, I do. I have a home. Why? Is it free and clear? Have you paid it off? Oh, no, man, we bought that house 2 years ago. I still got 28 years to pay on that house. I mean, I'd like to pay it off early, but, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. I know there's a way I just pay extra money towards my payment, but I'm not sure I can do that. I got other bills and things that I got to pay, and I'm not sure how that works. So, man, I'll probably be another 28 years doing this thing. Is it paid for? Is your house paid for? Same question, right? You just said something different. Let me ask you something, Bill. I don't mean to get personal, but do you have any debt, like credit card debt or automobile debt or student loan debt, mortgage debt? Do you have any kind of debt like that that's kind of burdensome to you? Would you like to get that off your back? Do you have multiple debts? Do you have 5, 6, 7, 8? How many would you guess if you had to guess today? Hey, sometimes you can ask people, if you don't mind, how many credit cards do you think you have? 8. Oh, man, listen, you really need some help. We can help you. There's people out there with 10 and 15 credit cards, folks. We need to go help people. Would you like to be in a better position financially than you maybe are currently? Would you like to really money than you've been able to save over the last few years? Is that something that's important to you? Well, man, listen, I can help you to do that. Let me ask you, Bill, is there something that you'd like to accomplish financially over the next year or so? I mean, I don't know if you have a bucket list of things that you'd like to accomplish, in the financial world. Would you like to open your own business? Would you like to save up for, something that you've been dreaming about having? Maybe you wanted that other car, you wanted that motorcycle, or you wanted to buy an RV, or you wanted to have something that you could go out and enjoy. But you got to be out of debt. So you don't go get more in debt while you've got debt. So that would be important. Would you be better off today with the debt you have now or with no debt at all? Which way would you be better off? Just going ahead and keeping the debt, or would you be better off if you went ahead and paid all that debt off? Well, I'd be better off not having any debt. Bill, that's exactly what I show people how to do. I show them how they can be out of debt in 1/3 to 1/2 time sooner than they ordinarily would be. And it's a very simple process that we have. And look, if you'll give me, say, 30 to 40 minutes, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Would you be interested in finding out how to get totally out of debt in 1/3 to 1/2 the time that you are going to be out? Well, sure. If you were debt-free today, Bill, how would that change your life? Would it change it in any way? Would it stay the same? Oh, no, it would totally change my life. I mean, we could do things we never thought of being able to do. I know that I could retire sooner. We could take that trip to, down to wherever we wanted to go, and we can enjoy ourselves. We can add that extra room onto the house. We can add that extra room and put the pool table and the big screen TV in there, So there's, get people thinking, get them thinking about what it's like to dream without having that burden on them, without having, all this debt just pounding on them every day, what they would be able to do. And we don't want them to go get back in debt. Say, now listen, if you're going to go get that big screen TV, you're going to need to wait till you have the money, okay? But we're going to show you how to save that. We're going to show you places where you can accumulate wealth. Get out of debt, eliminate debt, and we want to show you how to create wealth. Every time you ask a question, wait for a response from the prospect. Here's the thing again, I'll kind of go back to where I was a while ago. You see, if you've given this presentation over and over, and you've heard it over and over and over again, well, you know the answers. You know the next thing to say. You know what to do. But that person that you're talking to doesn't. They have no clue what you're talking about. They have no idea what you're talking when you say dashboard. They're saying, dashboard on my car? They have no idea when you say, would you like to have a financial GPS? They don't know what that really means. They don't know. If they can't see themselves right now, if they're in debt, that means they can't see themselves getting out of debt. They're just continue to dig the hole and dig the hole and dig the hole. So you got to wait for them to participate in the presentation. That way they're a part of it, and you're not always just the one talking. Now they're engaged. No matter how long it takes, you have to wait and let people answer. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. But if you're asking the question and there's 15 seconds of silence, and let me tell you, 15 seconds of silence is a long time. There's 15 seconds of silence, and then you talk again. No. Wait till they answer the question so that they can be engaged and they can participate. Say, now, Bill, did you understand? If it's too long, just come back and ask them in a very nice way. Say, now, Bill, did you understand the question that I was asking you? Would you like me to repeat it for you? So do that. Make sure that they're involved. If they ask you a question, before responding, lead them back to your original question and get a response. Okay? You've asked a question, they've asked a question, they've answered your question with a question. Okay, that's what that means. You can't take and ask them a question and get a question back. That doesn't solve the problem. Now, what you do is you can answer their question, but you've got to go back to the original one that you asked. And don't forget to talk about that and discuss it. Because, listen, we have a system, and you have to follow that system because it's going to help you to close sales. I know there are probably people on this call tonight that, look, I'm a great closer. I'm a great salesman. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I've got a better way of doing it. Well, you know what? Your better way of doing it is not duplicatable. See, you can be the best presenter, the best closer, the best salesperson there is out there. But can you train 10 other people to do what you're doing? And if you can't, how good is that for helping you build your organization and team and going out and making multiple sales? It's not. It's not helping at all. Okay? So you got to be sure that you have them participating in that and that you always go back to the original question. This can be very frustrating, and it takes practice not to oversell or overtalk. It takes practice, folks. I'm telling you, you got to sit at your kitchen table and you got to give presentations to yourself, to your spouse, to your dog, to your kids, to your cat, to whatever. You got to practice and practice and learn how to give a great presentation. Now, does that mean you're not going to go out on an appointment until you can give a great presentation? No, because you're going to have a manager, a certified field trainer, that's going to do the appointments for you. They're going to do the presentation. They're going to get the analysis. They're going to run the analysis. They're going to do the presentation after that. They're going to close the sale and show you how you go through everything on the computer to close that sale. So you're not expected to know everything, and you cannot possibly know everything until you've had experience. You've got to have the experience of hearing people and hear them ask questions. What we tend to do as human beings is we tend to think that, oh man, what if this person asked me this? Like, does the star of Jupiter and Pluto go around, the sun, and then the moon does this, and then how many circles around that does it take? And you don't know. They're not going to ask anything. They don't know what to ask. They can only ask as you go along and you present, which opens up a door for them to ask a question, which you're going to know the answer to because you've heard it 100 times already. So don't worry that you got to know everything before you start talking to people and giving presentations. Plus, there's going to be somebody to help you along. You'll always have somebody you can count on that will help you go through the presentation. You can talk yourself right out of a sale. I guarantee it. I've seen it done so many times. The person giving the presentation doesn't know when to be quiet, and they just keep talking and talking and talking. And if someone doesn't respond when they ask the question, they just keep talking. And we don't know if that person's really understanding what we're saying. Do they fully understand the power of this product, of the Money Max account? They need to understand the power of the Money Max account in order for it to be effective and in order for them to be able to use it on a daily basis. So be sure that they understand that, okay? Negative or positive response. If your prospect does not reply positively to one of these previous statements, then you are probably talking to the wrong individual and should consider terminating your process right here. What? If somebody doesn't give me the right answer or I don't get a positive answer back, you want me to end the conversation and leave? Yep. Well, what are those? Okay. Well, let's see. If your prospect responds positively to one of the questions above, then proceed to your tie-down possibilities. If I could, would you, is the most common tie-down formula. If I could, would you, again, it is the most common tie-down formula. If I could show you how we could have you out of debt in 1/3 to 1/2 the time, would you commit to doing this program for you and your family? If I could or would be able to do this for you, would you move forward with the program? If I could show you how to achieve your financial goals, would you be willing to set an appointment with me to find out more? If I could show you how to be debt-free in a fraction of the time, Bill, in a fraction of the time, would you be willing to find out more? Would you want to know more? If I could show you how to decrease the amount of interest you're paying across the board currently, right now, the money you're paying out in debts right now, would you be willing to set an appointment with me to find out exactly how we can help? See, these are just some of the examples. There's probably many, many more. And if you're not getting a positive response back, if I could show you, let's go back to number 2, bullet point. if I could show you how to achieve your financial goals, would you be willing to set an appointment with me to find out more? Well, this sounds really interesting, but I am so busy. I'm head of the scout committee, and we just bought that camper, and man, at work I'm so busy. I just don't think I have time to look at this right now. Well, Bill, let me ask you this question: When do you think that you might have a little time to find out how to get totally out of debt? Be quiet. Don't speak. What's the old saying? First person speaks loses. Bill, when would you have just a little bit of time, maybe 30, 40 minutes, for me to show you how you can get totally out of debt? And if they keep coming, oh man, I don't know. I'm just really busy right now. I just don't think I have the time to do it. Well, Bill, do you want to get out of debt? Oh, absolutely, I want to get out of debt. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. Well, look, is it okay if I stay in touch with you so that we can get together when you see that you might have a few minutes? Okay, I just let Bill off, but I didn't let him off because I said, would it be okay if I stay in touch with you so that I can call you back, and that when you have 30 or 40 minutes, because now I'm putting them in a situation, you don't have 30 or 40 minutes to find out how to get out of debt? You need to move on. If they just keep being negative, you need to move on. That's going to give you much more peace of mind, and you're going to feel better about yourself. And if you do happen to get back with Bill, Bill's going to buy. If you don't get back with Bill, listen, Bill's going to be in debt for 40, 50 years. He is, because he's not going to do anything about his situation. So can you see how you go back to that, and you try, but nobody's asking you to sit there and beat people over the head or make them feel uncomfortable or make you feel uncomfortable. That's not what we want to happen, okay? We want this to be a good conversation where people understand what's going on. Now, tie downs. If you knew having no debt would be life-changing, and I could show you or introduce to you a way to pay off your mortgage and or other debts in 1/3 to 1/2 your currently scheduled time, would that interest you? Now, that's right to the point. Gets right to the point about what we do. And if I could make a life-changing choice for you and show you how to do that, would you be interested? Now, this is a little long. You know what you can do? You can take a little card. You say, listen, I've been in the business a while, but I don't have this whole thing down. I want to ask you an important question. Hey, Bill, if you knew having no debt would be life-changing, and I could show you or introduce you a way to pay off your mortgage or other debts in 1/3 to 1/2 the time you currently are scheduled for, would that interest you? And so you got that right there. Don't be embarrassed. You're about to change these people's lives. You're about to change. You're about to save them potentially hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially $1 million, $2 million. It just depends on the person. But you are about to change their life. This is important stuff. Don't think it's corny that you got to read off of something. It's okay. Would you want to hear more about that? Would there be any reason you would not want to know more? Be quiet. Is there any reason you wouldn't want to know more? Would there be any reason you would not want to move forward with me? So you've gone through the analysis. You show them the analysis. You show them when they're going to get out of debt. They looked at the dashboard. They say how that's going to happen. Now, Bill, is there any reason you would not want to continue to move forward? Be quiet. Wait for an answer, because he's not going to be able to give you a logical answer. Whatever they say, there's a comeback for it. I don't care what they say. There's a comeback for it. Unless he says, listen, I'm going to be totally out of debt next month. I just inherited $2 billion. I'm going to be out of debt. Well, you don't need me. Okay? Just joking. But that's important. Would you want to spend some time with me to see how we can help? Bill, would you spend some time with me to see how we can help you get out of debt and how fast you can get out of debt? Sure. Well, let me ask you, today's Tuesday. Are you available Thursday maybe at 6 o'clock. Boom. Set the appointment. They're available or they're not available. Find out when they're available. Then set up the time for you to sit down and talk with them. If I could help you pay your mortgage and or other debts off sooner rather than later, would that interest you? Would you want to know more about that? Oh, I think no, I didn't read this page. I thought I did. If I could help you achieve your financial goals over the next few years, would that interest you? Would you want to know more? Hey, Bill, if I could help you achieve financial prosperity, would that be something that would be of interest to you or to possibly investigate it a little bit further? Well, what do you mean? Yeah, look, exactly what I'm saying. If there was a way that I can show you how you can get out of debt, you can achieve financial prosperity. I mean, where you could be putting money away, maybe creating wealth for you and your family. Would that be something that would be of interest to you to know more about and investigate into it? Well, sounds pretty interesting. Well, look, what are you doing Thursday night at 7 o'clock? You can get on you got a computer, right? You pretty savvy with your computer? Oh, fantastic. Well, look, what we can do is I can show you over the computer. We can do one of those webinar things, one of those Zoom things. You've seen that, oh yeah, we do those all the time at my work. Oh, great. If I could show you a way to become debt-free without changing your current budget, would you want to know more about that? Hey, Bill, if I could show you a way to become debt-free without changing your current budget, without changing anything like that, would you want to know more how to do that, how to accomplish that? Well, possibly. It sounds pretty interesting. Well, look, I've helped people save literally tens of thousands of dollars in interest that they were going to pay to the banks and the loan companies that they're not going to pay ever. Tens of thousands. I got a client I'm working with right now. I'm going to save him $150,000. Have your little story. Remember week before last, Mac was talking about have your story. This is where you have your story. Qualifiers and tie downs, as with all of the sales processes, it's something that you have to practice and learn. It's something that you need to get good at. It's just like any job that you have. If you're an electrician or you're a carpenter or you're an IT person or you're whatever it is that you do, don't you want to be the best at what you do? Don't you have pride in your trade, so to speak, in whatever you're doing for business? Do you have pride in that? Hey, listen, I'm the best at that. I'll tell y'all right now, I'm from Louisiana. Listen, I live in Utah. I don't know about Louisiana, but in Utah, I'm the best jambalaya cook in Utah. And I know that for a fact. I am. I have no questions about it. Now, I might be number 2 or number 3 in Louisiana, but I am the best jambalaya cook in Utah. Well, listen, I'm the person that can show you how to get out of debt. I'm the person that can show you the program that the company's developed, that 2 guys, Skylar Whitman and John Washenko, created almost 20 years ago, and it's done nothing but get better and better and better and better, and we're always making improvements on it, that can show you how to get out of debt and give you something that you can follow that will just guide you along how to do it. You don't even have to guess at it. You're able to do that. Do not be discouraged when you hit a wrong note. Kick the ball in the wrong direction or place paint in an area that was not intended to go. You can't get discouraged. You can't let things get you down. You can't get negative. One thing about the sales and the recruiting business is you are going to hear no. You're going to hear it. I can guarantee it. You will hear no. No, thank you. No, I don't want any of that. No, that might be good for somebody else, but it's not good for me. No, I'm not interested. But you know what? It just makes you better. It makes you a little tougher. It makes you want to go after it a little bit harder. You can't let those things get you down. See, here's what happens with people, and I don't know if you've maybe heard me say this before. here's what happens with people, and this is how we think, okay? Hey, Bill, would you like a cup of coffee? No, I don't want a cup of coffee from you. See, that's what we hear. We just heard Bill say, hey, Bill, would you like a cup of coffee? No, I don't want a cup of coffee from you. But that's not what Bill said. And I don't know that anybody ever says anything like that, unless they're just a jerk, right? Here's what Bill said. No, thank you. I don't want a cup of coffee. Thank you, though. But you thought you took it personally. You took it like he said that to you. No, I don't want a cup of coffee. And not only do I not want a cup of coffee, I don't want it from you. That's not what they're saying. You can't take it that way. Take it in a positive way. How can I turn that around and make it better, make it a more positive thing? How can what else can I say that might get Bill a little more interested in what we do? What can I say that would get Bill at least listening to a presentation or getting an analysis so we can run his numbers? That's what we want to do. You've got to get where you can at least run the analysis. If they'll let you run the analysis, guess what? They've got to see the numbers. Hey, Bill, you're going to be so excited. You know, we got that information from you so that we got that analysis and we ran that analysis. You're going to be so excited, you might not sleep for a week. Man, I can't wait for us to get together so I can show you. Man, I don't know if I've helped anybody this good, this much. It's incredible. Really? Is that good? Oh, no, it's better than that. Now you're getting people excited. They can't wait now. They can't wait to see it. And it's going to be better than what they thought because they got a positive thought of mind. They're thinking in a positive way of how they're going to be. Man, we're fixing to save a lot of money. I don't know how yet, but look, Joe's going to show us. He said he's got all our numbers, and he's going to save us tons of money. Man, how nice is that going to be for us to be out of debt? Look, people are going to be talking about it already, and they ain't even seen the numbers yet. But they're excited. See, this is all part of the learning and practice process as you develop your skill in the art. The art of doing this, the art of presenting the program, the art of getting the analysis, the art of doing a good analysis and going back and sitting down and presenting that. Taking pride in what you do, making sure that Bill and Mary understand exactly what you're talking about, exactly how the program works. See, when you are finished with them and they get with the coach, sometimes people say, oh, the coach didn't do a good job. Did you do a good job? Because sometimes maybe they were told something that wasn't correct. You know, maybe sometimes the numbers might not have been right. Look, none of us are perfect, right? We all can make mistakes. But the better you are at your job, the better you are at your presentation and making sure all the facts and figures and numbers are laid down there right there for our people, the sale's going to close. Bill and Mary are going to be excited. And when they get with the coach, they're going to have a positive attitude. And they're going to be ready and willing and open to learning as to what that coach is going to coach them through and setting their program up. And they'll do anything that you ask them to do because you just showed them how to save $150,000 that they were going to spend that they now no longer are going to have to spend. That's the difference. Hey, all you got to do is hang in there. Take notes when you're with your certified field trainer. Take notes. Be attentive. Listen what they're saying. Listen at their comebacks. See how they overcome objections and answer questions. Take those things, adapt them to your personality and how you can take that and adapt it and become a better salesperson, become a better recruiter. See, we haven't seen the really, really big hitters come on with this company yet. I'm telling you right now, we have not seen them. They're out there waiting for you to go see them. Oh, Steve, that sounds like a bunch of motivational stuff. Really? Well, Ask Rich Schaefer and Greg McCullough about that. You know, they were kind of going along with their business, and you know, they were doing okay. You know, it was okay. They were making some good money, but it wasn't where they wanted it to be. It wasn't growing like they wanted it to grow exponentially. The multiplication factor hadn't really kicked in good and hard and strong yet. They were still kind of in the addition phase. You know, but they were good at what they did, but they weren't being their best maybe. And look, I respect both of those guys, and that's why I'm using their names. So I'm going to tell you something good, okay? but they're so talented. There's two guys there, and I can name several others on this call, okay? I can name several others, and I'm not trying to leave anybody out. But listen, what they did is they stepped it up. They stepped up the game. They stepped up and made a commitment of what they were going to do. We can either sit here and grovel around and be upset that we're not making all the money we want to make. We're not recruiting all the people we want to recruit. We're not having all the fun we want to have. We're not seeing things moving forward the way that they should be moving. And we have got to do something about it. And they made a decision that they were going to do something about it. And let me tell you, when there's a change of your mind, when there's a change of your brain, and you now start thinking differently, acting differently, talking differently, you've got a good, positive, strong, solid attitude. You're confident in what you do and what you say. Listen, people can't tell me there's anything wrong with this program. I've seen way too many people get out of debt. I've seen it happen. I've heard the stories. Those aren't lies. It's the truth. I've seen it happen. But they made up their mind. They started talking the talk, walking the walk, doing the things that it took to be successful, acting like they're successful, and they started recruiting some people. They started talking to some people they had intentions to talk to, but really hadn't yet. And so they decided, we're going to start calling these people. We're going to get these people activated. We're going to get them plugged in. We're going to get them engaged. And this month, they are going, not by a little. I don't know if everybody on here, and don't just kind of think to yourself. I watched that movie again, Secretariat, about 2 weeks ago. Did y'all see how far, if you saw that movie, did you see how far that horse beat the second place horse? I don't remember if it was at the Kentucky Derby or the Belmont. I don't remember which one it was. It was links and links and links. Not one or two. It was links. I mean, they were so far behind. Well, that's what these guys decided to do. We're gonna get Secretariat. We're gonna get him out of the gate, and we're gonna hit it hard, and we're gonna have the mud flying, and we're gonna be getting down the track, and we're not gonna beat people by a little bit. We're going to annihilate them. We're gonna be competitors. We're gonna build this thing big. We're gonna make a lot of money. We're gonna help people get out of debt. We're gonna save them thousands and tens of thousands and millions of dollars of debt, and we're gonna set records. And this month, they're gonna set a record in their organization, on their team. They may end up with somewhere between $150,000 and $175,000 in production in their base shop this month. And they haven't done that to this point. And they got some promotions. They're going to be promoting 2 or 3 executive directors here in the next few days. And guess what will happen next month? Their numbers will get bigger next month, and they'll promote some more executive directors, and those executive directors will be promoting executive directors. They've got a shot at hitting all 5 pools this month. That's going to be another several thousands of dollars for them. Several thousands of dollars in income, besides the money they've already made, besides the overrides, besides having their name on app after app after app after app after app after app after app, and doing split sales, split sales, split sales, split sales, and making thousands and thousands of dollars for themselves, that they can not have debt, and that they can save money, and that they are be able to take trips and do things for their family and buy things for their family without getting in debt. It's a decision. It's just a decision. I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. Because that's the only two decisions. Because the middle of the road is losing. It is. Being in the middle of the road is losing. Because it ain't winning. Do they give a trophy to the middle of the pack? No. Look, you'll never see us give a trophy, an award, or recognition to the middle of the pack. You give it to the people who are doing it, who are running the race. So, look, I hope that these have helped you. I know Max put a lot of time in developing these things. You know, he's vice president of sales, and he does a fantastic job, and he puts great materials together for you. We're working very hard at developing new things and new programs and more ways for you to make income. We are working very hard on several things right now that are about to come out the other end, and we're going to be announcing. And wouldn't it be a shame if you're just kind of in the back of the pack, or if you quit and all this comes out, and all of a sudden people that you knew, they're making great money, they're building great businesses, but you quit? Wouldn't that be a shame? Or you're just in the middle of the pack? Wouldn't it be a shame? Maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, somebody walks in the door and says, listen, here's so many millions of dollars. We want to invest in your company. And they divide it up between people, and you might have got a nice little check from the FEP, but maybe you didn't do enough money to qualify, make enough production to qualify, or maybe you quit. Wouldn't that be a shame? Listen, all we want you to do is be successful. We're here to support you. That's our job. We want to encourage you, support you, give you what you need to win, and we want you to go out there and win, okay? So keep a great attitude, keep plugging away. Great things are going to happen for you. We're excited. We're about to make some major announcements here in the next week or so for you. So we've had some meetings today, and we're going to be making some major announcements. I'll be tied into these meetings on Tuesday nights. You know, people already, some getting off the phone. Wow, they got to go get water or somewhat. So you got to hang in there and listen to the information, and we're going to be announcing it. So congratulations for being on the call. We appreciate everything that you do. We appreciate your business, your hard work, your energy and effort. Folks, be safe. Be safe out there in our great country, okay? And take care of yourself, and thank you for your business from all of us here on the executive team at United Financial Freedom. Have a great evening. Thank you.